Oh, you know what? So I'll give you some that did make me happy, did make me feel good. You know what? My wife and I just rolled through new season of Jack Ryan. Jack Ryan, it's Tom Clancy's, novels, Clear and Present Danger, Patriot Games, Harrison Ford. You know what I'm talking about. I love those movies, by the way. And, John Krasinski, he plays Jack Ryan. You got Wendell Pierce, who, from The Wire, everybody loves Wendell Pierce, who plays Jim Greer. And my wife and I, over the last 2 or 3 days, we rolled through all 8 episodes. So highly recommended. It was season 3, I believe, of Jack Ryan. So there you go. Always looking for television show recommendations if you want to send. Now, it's got to be recommendations that I can watch with my wife. I got plenty of shows that I can watch on my own. I'm talking about shows that I can watch with my wife. So it's not violent, not sci-fi, not fantasy, that kind of deal. So I'm talking about stuff that I can watch with my wife. So always open to suggestions you want to send to @ZASLOW SHOW. What show should we pick up and watch together next? There you have it. But Jack Ryan, we finished watching that. Thought it was really, really good. All right, let's get to good times and hard times.
Hard times are when the auto workers are out of work and they tell them go home. And hard times are when a man has worked at a job 30 years. 30 years. They give him a watch, kick him in the butt, and say, hey, a computer took your place, daddy. That's hard time. That's hard time.
That's right. Good times and hard times, Daddy. We tell you after every week in the NFL season which fan bases are experiencing good times right now and which fan bases are experiencing hard times, Daddy. So we'll start out with the good times. Number 3, the Jacksonville Jaguars fan is having good times right now. The Jags, they get the win this weekend, which puts them in first place in the putrid AFC South. The Jaguars at 7-8. They control their own destiny. Excuse me. And, of course, you're going to have a big-time showdown week 18 in Jacksonville against Tennessee. How about that? I mean, it really solidifies. It's a toss-up between Urban Meyer and Nathaniel Hackett. At least Urban Meyer made it through his first year. But it really solidifies Urban Meyer, the worst coach. He gets out of here. Trevor Lawrence is having a terrific second half of the season. And they're going to wind up winning the division. Albeit they're only going to win 8 or 9 games. But they're going to win the division. That counts for something. So right now, Duval, Jacksonville Jaguar fan, is having good times right now. Number 2, the Carolina Panthers fan making an appearance on good times for the first time this year. That's right. The Panthers, believe it or not, they're 6-9, which is a shit record. But they're just a game back in the NFC South. They got Tampa Bay this weekend. They win that. They got a chance to win the division. The Panthers, they crushed the Lions, who were red hot. They had won, I think, 6 out of 7 going into that game. Detroit did. And Carolina, after, getting rid of Baker Mayfield, they traded away Christian McCaffrey. All of a sudden, they're playing much better football. So the Carolina Panther fan is having good times. And the number one fan base is having the best times right now after week 16. The Los Angeles Chargers fan. That's right. We already went through it on the same day that Tua's in concussion protocol. Justin Herbert and the Chargers clinch a playoff spot, so they're in at 9-6. They're going to try and jump all the way up to number 5, which we know is a key spot. They had a dominant performance against a team that doesn't have a coach in the Indianapolis Colts on Monday Night Football. The Los Angeles Chargers fan is having the best times. So good times for the Jacksonville Jaguar fan, good times for the Carolina Panther fan, and the best times for the Los Angeles Charger fan after Week 16's action. Now it's time for which fan base are having hard times, Daddy. Number 3, the New York Giants fan. The Giants had a chance to clinch. They dropped to 8-6-1, a heartbreaking last-second defeat to the Minnesota Vikings. The Giants are still in really good shape to make the postseason, but that's a tough loss to swallow. Hard times for the Giants fan after Week 16. Number 2, the Tennessee Titans fan. That's right. They're going to wind up missing the playoffs. And not only are they going to miss the playoffs, but it's going to be to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They've been in first place all year, the Titans, and now they finally slip out. The Tennessee Titans fan, they know what's inevitable. Hard times for the Titans fan. And number 1, the hardest times this week after Week 16, the Detroit Lions fan. The Lions had won 6 of 7 if they beat Carolina. Carolina, who went into that game at 5-9. if they beat Carolina, they would have jumped Washington. They'd be in the playoff picture, controlling their own fate. But instead, they lost by 2 touchdowns to the Panthers. That's tough to swallow considering how far the Lions have come. So, number 3, hard times, Giants fan. Number 2, hard times, Titans fan. And the hardest times right now after Week 16 is for the Detroit Lions fan. And that right there is another edition of Good Times and Hard Times, Daddy. So, before we move on here, I got to remind you guys, if you're looking to kick back over winter break, it's cold as hell outside. But that's not going to stop you from enjoying a 6-pack of Johnny Cuba. Go grab yourself a Johnny. We're talking a lifestyle. That's what Johnny Cuba is, a lifestyle. European roots with a Caribbean soul. Start your evening with a refreshing German lager in a can. You can pick up a 6-pack of Johnny Cuba right now at Sedano's, Presidente, Winn-Dixie, Fresco y Mas. You can hit me up on Twitter at ZASLOW SHOW. Had one of the great ZASLOW Show 2.0 listeners sent me a tweet, had a picture holding himself a Johnny, said, "ZASLOW, thank you so much for recommending. Johnny Cuba's delicious." I'm like, of course it's delicious. I'm not going to tell you to buy a beer that's not delicious. So anyway, go now, holiday 6-pack special on Johnny Cuba's at Winn-Dixie and Fresco y Mas. You can pick it up right now. You'll thank me later. Remember to drink responsibly. And don't forget Johnny Cuba's mantra, stay tranquilo. So, Panthers are back in action Thursday night, they have the Montreal Canadiens. Should I be trying to go? Yeah. I might be trying to go. Yeah, and now everybody knows when I'm trying to go, that means I'm looking for the hookup. That means I'm looking for somebody to set me up with the tickets. And Thursday night, that's a tough ticket to get because the Canadiens, you got all the French Canadians that are in town, the Snowbirds. The Canadiens game is always a really good crowd. I might be trying to go. Yeah, I think I'm trying to go. Panthers and Canadiens this Thursday night. All right, I think I might be. Hey, make sure you go vote in today's ZASLOW Show 2.0 poll question. Go to @ZASLOW Show on Twitter. With Tua in concussion protocol, do you take back anything you said after his 3 INTs? Now, do we know that he suffered a concussion in the game? No, we do not. Do we know that he was feeling effects from a possible concussion that he had? No, we do not. And we're never going to. It's all speculation. But it is super out of character for him to throw any interceptions, let alone 3 in a game or in the 4th quarter. So, with Tua in concussion protocol, do you take back anything you said after his 3 INTs? And right now, the leader at 55% of the vote is no, he's still stunk. You're not taking it back. All right, there you go. Hey, keep an eye on the Orlando Magic and the Lakers tonight, because if LeBron plays, it doesn't mean for sure, but if LeBron plays tonight, it's pretty likely he's not playing tomorrow night against the Heat. That'll be a bummer. So kind of keeping our fingers crossed that he's going to wind up sitting tonight. I don't think he's going to sit tonight. Why would he? They played Sunday afternoon. If anything, I think there's a better chance of him playing in the back-to-back than him sitting tonight. So we'll see. Anyway, anything else big in the NBA tonight? You got no Heat tonight, no Panthers tonight. I don't know my stories to catch on because WWE Monday Night Raw last night was like a best-of type episode. But, which that reminds me, it's still real to me. Every Saturday, me, my pal Joey Levine, we host It's Still Real to Me under ZASLOW Show 2.0. That is our pro wrestling podcast. It's awesome. Make sure you listen to that. All right. In the NBA tonight, let's see. Like I told you, got the Lakers and Orlando. Anything else interesting here? Boston's hosting Houston. Phoenix and Memphis. Okay. I see you. Phoenix and Memphis is an interesting one. I like that one. Phoenix, they're in a tough spot right now at 19-15. They get mad about everything. What else do we got here? Dallas hosting New York. That's a fun little game. I could check that out. And, it's Sacramento hosting Denver. That's a good game, too. Denver right now, first place in the Western Conference top 6 is wild. Denver's first. Sacramento is 6th. I mean, again, look at the top 6 here in the West. Nobody predicted this. Number 1, Denver. 2, New Orleans. 3, Memphis. 4, LA Clippers. 5, Phoenix. 6, Sacramento. The Heat, on the other hand, after last night's win, they're back to 500 at 17-17. They're a game back of number 6. And like we said yesterday, you essentially have 5 teams in the East that are going to be jockeying for one guaranteed playoff spot, the number 6 spot, because the top 5 there, Boston, Milwaukee, Brooklyn, Cleveland, Philadelphia, I feel like we could all say with confidence those teams are making the play. Like, they're going to be in the top 6. So that would leave the 6th spot among teams like New York, who's currently in it. Atlanta, Indiana, Miami, Toronto are 7 through 10, the play-in scenario right now. So there you have it. All right, let's get to big deal or not a big deal. Every show we wrap up with big deal, not a big deal, and I got some good ones for you here today. Big deal or not a big deal. Last night, WWE Live was at MSG. They were at Madison Square Garden. There was no WWE Raw last night, actually. So they had a house show at Madison Square Garden. My co-host, Joey Levine, It's Still Real to Me, he was there. He'll tell us all about it this weekend. Make sure you listen to the show. But big deal or not a big deal, Bray Wyatt made his in-ring return at WWE Live at Madison Square Garden last night. That's a big deal. Apparently, Jinder Mahal held an open challenge, and Bray Wyatt came out. His music hit. It's his first match back. Crowd must have went crazy. I'm going big deal. All right, Bray Wyatt returning to the ring. And again, this Thursday night. Oh, I'm definitely not. Take it back. I'm not trying to go to the Panthers and Canadiens this Thursday night because I'm going to WWE Live at FTX Arena, ftxarena.com. You can get your tickets right now. Me and my son Jordan, we're going to WWE Live. And Bray Wyatt is advertised to be at the show. Does that mean he's going to get in the ring? Maybe, because he's got to shake off some of the rust. And he just wrestled last night. Again, ftxarena.com. Tickets are very affordable. WWE Live down in Miami on Thursday night. Your boy is going to be there. I'm very much looking forward to it. All right, big deal or not a big deal? After last night's win against the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Brooklyn Nets have now won 9 in a row. The Nets overall, they are 22-12. They are 3rd in the East, just 2 games back of first place. Yeah, I'm going to go big deal. I mean, the Nets are streaking. Now, what does it mean for the postseason? They still don't defend. And when you play a team like Milwaukee, 7-game series, Boston, 7-game series, they're going to defend the shit out of Kevin Durant. And Kyrie Irving, you obviously can't rely on. And the Nets don't defend. So it doesn't mean anything big picture-wise, but anytime a team wins 9 in a row, that's a big deal. So the Nets winning 9 in a row, big deal. Denver Broncos fire Nathaniel Hackett after a 4-11 start to his first season. You know how shitty of a head coach you got to be fired in your first year? Even Cam Cameron made it out of year number 1. He only won a game, and he got to coach the whole season. Nathaniel Hackett, they said, peace, playa. After 4-11, he's out. That's not a big deal. Everybody saw it coming. The only surprise is that it happened in season, although you had a fight take place with Bronco players. You had a scrum after the game. So the team was out of control. Not a big deal, though. Everybody knew Nathaniel Hackett was going to get fired. And finally, one more here. Big deal or not a big deal? I done told you this Mac Jones sucks. Now you got this. Everyone out there sees. You got video footage. Mac Jones is a dirty player. That's a big deal. Has anyone seen Mac Jones and Grayson Allen in the same room? So you had a video package put together by someone on Twitter with all the dirty plays from Mac Jones this year, where this weekend he took out Eli Apple behind the play, diving at his knees. Very dirty play. There are other videos of him where he slides cleats up, and he's cleated guys. He's done it a couple times. You got the play at the beginning of the year. Remember where he grabs a hold of the player's ankle from behind when he's on the ground, trips him up, and the player was calling him dirty after the game? Mac Jones a dirty player. And I know on WEEI yesterday, on his radio spot, he said, I don't have any intent to injure anyone, just playing hard. Look, Grayson Allen, if you ask him, he's never had intent to injure anyone either. If you ask him, no, this is a dirty player. It's happening over and over. The league should fine him, maybe suspend him, I don't know. But he's definitely going to get fined. This is a dirty player. He's Bush League, Mac Jones. That's a big deal. I'm glad everyone out there is finally starting to notice. And that right there is another edition of Big Deal or Not a Big Deal. Hey, if you're looking for somewhere to watch the games this weekend, obviously you got the Dolphins on Sunday, a huge one at New England. But NFL Sunday Ticket, you want to go to a bar that's showing all the games. That's why Briny Irish Pub, Pompano Beach, that's my spot, all right? At Briny Pub Pompano on social media, where you can keep up with everything they got going on. Like, for instance, you got live music every night, Monday through Friday, live, actually all 7 days. You got live music every night. Tonight, Stephen Carter, live music at 6 p.m. Happy hours Monday through Friday. It's a Briny hour from 4 to 7. And tonight, of course, Mahi Taco specials. All kinds of craft beer on tap. Great food, great drinks. They got the NFL Sunday ticket. Great spot to watch the Dolphins. You know I'm there for Dolphins and Patriots this weekend. Briny Irish Pub Pompano. You take Atlantic Boulevard all the way down to the ocean, but don't park in the ocean. Park right behind Briny. Free parking. They'll validate your tag, all right? Park right behind Briny, and you don't have to pay for parking. Briny Irish Pub, world's greatest upscale dive bar. All right, man. So tomorrow, hopefully we'll be able to get into some Heat Lakers with LeBron, only trip down to South Florida. It'd be a real shame if he doesn't wind up playing the one time a year that he's here in front of the Miami fans. I'm down on LeBron, the Miles Bridges stuff. I mean, LeBron, he essentially condones beating up women if you're going to stand there and you're going to yuck it up with Miles Bridges. I'm very, very down on LeBron. But as far as basketball goes, you want to see him play tomorrow night when the Heat are hosting the Lakers. Hey, however you're listening to this show, tell your friends, tell your family, make sure you like, you rate, you comment, you do all that good stuff. I appreciate all you guys, appreciate everything that everybody does for this show. And again, just make sure you're staying warm, man. It is. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this hood sweatshirt I got inside my home. Make sure you stay warm. Great job by everybody involved in putting together the show today. You all were wonderful. We'll talk to you on ZASLOW Show 2.0 tomorrow. You know what that means.